Well, Cinderella's story's over.
Well, there's a reason why we call this show Days of Our Sooners, and this is a perfect reason why. The perfect week why we call it that.
Yeah. So we lost to Kansas, of all teams. And we dropped down to 10, which, that surprised me. But, you know, Kansas, good team. So I guess it makes sense a little bit. But I thought we'd drop lower since they were unranked.
I think they just left us there.
Just pity.
To stop the free fall. Yeah. Once we get beat by OSU this week, then we'll be down to 20, and then we'll be behind USC once we lose to West Virginia the following week. So.
Don't be dramatic. Anyway, this is a more morose Days of Us Sooners, where we talk about the never-ending soap opera that is Oklahoma football. You know what? I guess it's good that we're 7-1. I'll take 7-1 over 6-7. That's for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, that was not a fun loss.
It's a frustrating game. And the number one thing that I'm frustrated about is you leaving the game early to attend your D&D game. So right here in front of God and country, I'd like an apology, not only for myself, but for the Oklahoma football team and all the Sooner fans for leaving in the midst of a great battle right when we could have had the game won.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I really, it was not my proudest moment. I thought we had the game had, and, well, I guess Lebby was like, Christmas came early to Jeff Lebby's, I guess his heart grew 3 sizes, because he decided to just give that game away on a silver platter to Kansas.
Have they fired him yet?
I saw a petition that they're wanting to fire him.
Good. Where do I sign? I'll drive.
Ryan,
I'll drive to Dallas to go sign.
Uncle Ryan was like, "Yo, check this out," and it was a petition to fire Jeff.
Can I email it from 10 different phone numbers? I don't know. The man does not know how to coach offensive football. Maybe he's a great flag football coach. I'm not sure. But I don't know that we really even had a real offense of that game other than just hand it off up the middle and run a Gavin Freeman swing pass or jet sweep. I mean,
yeah, I won't pretend that our offense was. I'm gonna try and give. I'll try and get the positives, which is we're finally seeming to get our running game situation figured out.
Well,
bad news is Jeff Lebby is still frustratingly inconsistent as offensive play caller. Mm-hmm. Now I won't pretend it's all his fault, of course. Our players weren't exactly helping matters, but I think the buck stops with the coaching.
Agree. The players have to make the plays, but you got to put them in as a coach. You got to put them into the positions to make plays. For instance, we've got several running backs on the team, but we decide to run a little skinny Jarrell Farouk up the middle as if he is some kind of a running back, and he fumbles the ball, and we lose possession, and they go down and score against us. So that's one thing.
Yeah, it was just a ugly game. It was kind of a thriller, except we weren't lucky this time. So.
Should have needed luck. It is Kansas.
A better Kansas team.
Better Kansas team, but when you don't let your Heisman Trophy winning or leading quarterback throw the ball past 10 yards the entire game until the final desperation drive, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. It wasn't like it was a monsoon. It wasn't the Ice Bowl. It was a little sprinkly, maybe a little windy. Yes, it's a little cold out there. But when you can't notice as an offensive coach that the whole defense is within the box and there's 9 guys up tight, and you don't try to challenge that defense with at least a pass outside or a pass 10 yards down the field to get a first down. One first down. One first down, Britt.
Yeah.
To win the ball game.
Yeah, defense really kept us in it again. And again, I've been saying it all season, and I'm probably going to keep saying it as long as I'm around. But I don't know if Jeff Levy's the guy.
No,
I
he's
really,
not the guy.
I really don't.
He's not the guy.
He's so. I guess the best thing I could say is it's almost like he doesn't have guts to make like those kind of risky calls. He just kind of, I don't mean to bring up Tebow, but at least Lincoln Riley was an offensive mastermind. He had some balls. At least a majority of the time.
That he did. And, I mean, just our 2-point conversion tries. And I, sometimes you wonder why we chase points. If we just kick our extra points there and then we're only down 3, then we just need a field goal in that last, desperation possession. But who knows what would have happened if we just kicked the field goal. So.
We stopped their 2-point conversion, so it wasn't like they were just rolling all over us. It was one of those just crazy games. Went back, went forth, went back, went forth, and we just did not get the. We had to pay the piper eventually.
Yeah. Another thing that I hate about these new, I guess I'm just going to have to call them woke safety rules. There's a lightning strike, not over the stadium. Didn't strike the light pole or the flagpole in the stadium. No, it's 8 miles off to the east. And we have to call the game for 30 minutes. And then we're about ready to come back on the field and another lightning strike. And then we delay it another 30 minutes. So, I don't know. Dick Butkus is rolling over in his grave on this one.
It's just, it was kind of a debacle.
Yeah, the whole game started out bad. The pick 6 started out bad. We go down. We have somewhat of a drive. We got a 4th down. We run a little jet sweep to Gavin Freeman, which fine and dandy, but I mean, can we pass the ball? He gets tripped up behind the line. They come right down and score. We're down 14 points before we even get out of bed and basically get our coffee in us. And to our credit, we fight back and get there 21-14, and then they kick a field goal right before half, 21-17 at half. I'm feeling good after the debacle that was the first half.
You mean the debacle that was the first 2 drives?
The first 2 drives, the rain delay, the everything. It was just like what is going on here? Am I in the Twilight Zone here watching this game?
It just wasn't our day. That's all I gotta say.
I was scared that they were going to put the Utah versus Oregon game on and cut us off, and I was going to have to listen to the rest of the game on the radio, which I wouldn't have minded, listening to Teddy and Toby. But I was, I had nervousness in me that I shouldn't have. So
yeah, it was just frustrating all game,
Yeah, we did every single thing that we could do in that game to lose the game, and still almost won the game. Pick 6.
I don't know. I don't know if that means we're pretty good or if we're just exceptionally bad. I don't think we're a bad team, but
we're a good team.
I don't know if we're just exceptionally lucky or we're just that good. I don't know.
We're a good team that played very undisciplined. We had 2 personal fouls in one play. One on the player for being an idiot and slinging the guy down after the whistle's blown. Mm-hmm. And then one on the coach. How about that for extra icing on the cake? And then they drive down to the 1 or 2 yard line. The quarterback makes a real bonehead play and slides before he gets to the end zone. But our guy targets.
I thought that was a stupid call.
Worst call I've seen in 20 years.
That was so...
What's the guy supposed to do? Let him walk in?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where there might be some ambiguity. I mean, they smashed him, but he did not hit the helmet. I'm telling you right now.
He led with his shoulder, clipped the other guy's shoulder. Yes, he hit his helmet. The guy's got a helmet on for a reason. He's going to get hit, and if he decides to run, what is the guy supposed to do?
I don't know.
We did everything that we could to lose the game, and eventually Kansas obliged and said, okay.
They put us out for misery.
If you want us to win this game, we'll go ahead and win it for you. So, any additional thoughts on that before we get into the different positions?
God, it was tense. It was tense against Kansas, and I actually posted on Facebook, and I got a couple of laughs. I basically was like, this game is like when the younger brother finally gets fed up with the older brother just always screwing around with them and just right in the mouth. It was like that. Yeah. We're that team right now. We're the older brother right now.
The big brother's not paying attention, and the younger brother hits him with his Tonka toy right across the head, right?
Yeah. Now he's in the hospital. Exactly. Great job, right, guys.
So, let's talk offense. So, first play of the game, Dylan Gabriel throws one of the worst passes I've ever seen in my life. I think I said to you, I think the wide receiver went the wrong way.
Why did they not just... I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but why did they... It was 2nd and 3. Just, our running game was improved. Just pass it to the guy. He'll get the first down. You don't need to pass the damn ball. But for some ass backwards reason, Levy's like, oh no, we're gonna throw it on 2nd and 3, and pick 6. I just was sitting there like, is this for real right now? Like,
I'm talking about. I think they threw a pass out to the left initially, and then we gained 7 yards on the run, and then it was on 3rd down that they intercepted it. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's the way it went. Remember when he broke out, and I said, I think that the receiver must have gone the wrong way because the ball was 5, 6, 7 yards behind Stogner over there. And then I think that that Sawchuk ran for 7 yards, and then I agree with you. Why don't we just run it up there again and get a first down? Gabriel, remember after the Texas game? I was praising him.
Yeah.
I was saying I was never going to call him names anymore.
You're eating your words now?
Very close to wanting to call him names.
Yeah, he just was not on his A game.
Just always late. Always late with the ball. I don't know, late with the ball.
Yeah.
He tappy dances over there, throws it out there late. The guy's waiting on the ball. The guy is sitting there watching him going, he's going to throw it. He's going to throw it. He's going to throw it. There he went. He threw it. I'm taking it. See ya. So we get a pick 6 right off the bat. I looked at you. I said, this is going to be a long day right then.
And it was. It was a long day.
And then they, we come down. We go down the field. We end up giving it up on downs. They come right back down. They're up 14 on us. We finally get our running game. Walker is the silver lining to this week. Would you agree, Brett?
Yeah, dude's a beast.
He's hard to tackle. He's got the timing down. I don't know what's up with Sawchuk and Barnes.
Sawchuk was pretty good.
It just seemed like neither one of them has the timing down of the play. Just no passing attack whatsoever in the whole game. Like I said earlier, I thought Gabriel was a Heisman Trophy winner. If you got a candidate, if you got a Heisman Trophy candidate, then don't you keep the ball in his
I didn't
hands?
think he was gonna win.
I didn't think so either, but he was hyped as that.
I didn't even know if he was a contender. Like, I think he's a good quarterback, but he's not a Caleb Williams.
He was getting talked about, so.
Yeah, people talk. I tend to take that with a very huge grain of salt.
Well, I know that. Go ahead.
I don't want to disrespect Dylan Gabriel. He can sling a football. OU Texas shows how great he can be. But he can be very frustratingly inconsistent.
He's what they call a warm weather quarterback.
It's interesting. That's a good way to put it.
Yep. And I know one guy that doesn't believe that he's a Heisman Trophy quarterback.
Is it you?
Jeff Lebby.
Oh.
Because obviously he didn't call any pass plays for him until the very final drive. 14 for 19 for 171 yards. 50 of them were in that last drive, where they're throwing it down when you're in watching your. It
was a weird game all around.
Did have 14 rushes, 64 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. I thought he ran the ball tough,
Yeah.
So, and especially around the goal line, he did a great job. Like we said earlier, Walker looked great. 23 rushes, 146 yards. You think we finally found something, right? Oh, no. He's injured now. Hurt his ankle. That's why he didn't play the fourth quarter. That's why our rushing game went down the toilet. Sawchuk, 6 for 19. Horrible. Farouk, 5 for 18 rushing. He's a wide receiver. 1 jet sweep a game. That's all you get, unless you break them. Barnes, 5 for 17. Freeman, 1 for 6. Pitiful by everybody other than Tawee Walker. Receiving, Stoops, 4 for 76. We needed 1 first down. We've got Drake Stoops on our team. Can we not go there?
Yeah, just a lot of play calling on Lebby's part. Once again, was just baffling. I don't know what happened there. If this does not epitomize my issues with Jeff Lebby, way too conservative, bizarre choices in play calling. I don't understand it. I really don't.
No.
I would if I were one of Brent's friends, I'd be like, I would just let him go. But everyone's like, oh, but Jackson Arnold. And I'm like, really?
Hey, not every kid is Caleb Williams. Maybe Jackson Arnold loves OU. How about that?
Yeah.
If he looks out at that offense that Levy's running right now, why does he want to play in that offense? We might lose him if we keep Levy. I mean, my goodness, who wants to play in that? And then we have 3 turnovers, 1 on special teams.
It's the little mistakes. It's like you said, man. It's little mistakes that can crush you.
Yeah.
Can just beat you and crush you.
Special teams, fumble on the kickoff. They kick one of them high pooch kicks right to Stripling, a defensive end. Why is a defensive end playing back there? Why not a tight end? Just off. That guy looked scared to catch the ball. He was all, is that to me? Boom, right off his chest and into Kansas defenders.
It was like, you know what it was like? It was like Bedlam 2 years ago, right before Lincoln left. Just a bunch of stuff went wrong, and I hope Brent isn't thinking about taking a flight to California in the middle of the night.
I don't think so.
But that was probably that's actually the best game I could compare this one to. It was Bedlam 2021 when we just were. It was just crazy game all day long, and we just weren't lucky. We almost had it there.
When Downs intercepts that ball,
I thought it was over.
I did too. There's 2 minutes left. We need 1 first down. Go play your game. It's over. I don't hold it against you because it should have been over. But no, I forgot. We have Levy on our team. He got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
Does not have. He came from Ole Miss. They had a high-powered offense, but they had Lane Kiffin there as an offensive head coach.
I didn't really think that we were going to get to the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
So
You're happy with the season's what I'm hearing?
Well,
What if we lose every game all the way?
That would suck. Don't jinx us. All I'm saying was I'm not surprised we lost.
Yeah. Defense, not their best game.
Or too bad.
Not their best game, but I mean,
poor Trace. That guy, he's. I know you're kind of hard on him, and I understand why, but this guy.
Another crazy play. The guy's clearly out of bounds.
The Bean shoots it. Trace, with his best effort, blocks the ball, and it falls right into the dude's hands. I was like, no way. And I thought they were going to call it like that wasn't like a official catch because he stepped out of. I thought that was one of the rules.
He was living out of bounds.
If you step out of bounds and you get out of, and then you get back in bounds and catch, I thought that was illegal. I guess
it is
not.
illegal unless it's illegal for you to be the first person that touches the ball after the pass. But since Trace tipped the ball first, that's the rule. And you wonder why there wasn't an outcry from the OSU fans when Trace Ford left the program. Like, yeah, go ahead. Take the guy. He's a bumbling, stumbling fool.
He did get that good block in the first quarter, though. He's not all bad.
He's had some pretty good plays. But that one, I mean, knocked the ball down. Or if he doesn't even touch the ball, Billy Bowman's right behind him to intercept the ball, which he's got good hands. But no, Trace tips the ball away from Billy Bowman to the other guy who catches the ball. It was just one of the stranger plays I've ever seen. Never seen that.
That's probably going to be on a compilation at some point.
I've never seen that in 50-plus years of watching football. So, we got momentum after the horrific start. Then we allowed 2 long drives for field goals. It's still 21-20. I'm still feeling okay. We fumble the ball, and then we let Bean out for the 40-yard scramble long run for the touchdown. Gives them the lead finally.
They tried for a 2-point conversion for some reason, even though they should just go for the points.
Yeah, we did great on the 2-point conversions, but then we allow, when we've got them, even though we don't get the first down, we're still up 1. There's still 2 minutes to go. We can still win the game, and we allow a 75-yard drive. We actually get them to 4th and 6. And Venables even says, I had 2 timeouts in my pocket. I should have called a timeout on 4th down. Got our guys set. Doesn't do it. It's just we did every single thing you could do to lose the game. So if we wanted to lose the game, don't show up.
I do hope this was a wake-up call for our guys.
Yeah. So coaching, we never talk about coaching here, but coaching, Levy got to go. That's it.
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray, love the guy, but has he lost the running back room? The other guys don't seem to want to play for him. They don't seem like they've got their heart in it. Tall Wee wants to play, but the rest of them don't want to play. Venables has the timeouts, doesn't call the timeout. He's got to get better at
he's still a new coach.
Situational coaching, yeah. So
he's still new head coaching. So I know we probably are sounding like we're cutting excuses, but it is his second year as a head coach. So there's going to be growing pains, right. And plus he's massively improved from last year.
Yeah. So I'm really disappointed, and I'm very nervous about Bedlam. How are you feeling about Bedlam about this time? OSU looked like a dumpster fire. Lose to what? South Alabama? Who'd they lose to?
Well, they lost to South Alabama. I guess that humbled them a bit. And They finally got their act together.
And then they lose to who in the Big 12? Didn't they lose to?
They lost to somebody.
Iowa State, maybe.
Yeah, Iowa State. Yeah.
And so you're thinking, well, they're just a dumpster fire. And now they come back. They beat K-State, who's a great team. They beat Kansas, who we've just lost to. They just trounced Cincinnati this week. They've got a running back that's run for more than 250 yards in each of the last 2 games. And he's leading the country in rushing. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous, Britt. You nervous?
Yeah, but I do hope that this game was humbling for us, and hopefully we can have a wake-up call like they did with South Alabama and Iowa State, and we can get our act together and take them on for one last Bedlam. Now, I don't think we're going to get I don't think we're going to get 49-0, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
You know what the series record is between OU and OSU?
What?
It's like 91, 19, and 7. Something like this. Or 90, 19, and 7. Somewhere around there. They've only won 19 times in the history in over 100 years of football. How would it feel to lose the very last one and the whole rest of your life you can hear, yeah, we only won 20 games. in the history of the series, but we won the last one. We did win the last one. We were the better team that final year. Your whole life. Is that what you want to hear?
I don't.
I hope the OU players.
I think we might be humbled from that. We have a good tendency of bouncing back from adversity. Though
Well, I hope the OU players are thinking about you in your 80 years of life and how you're going to have to suffer with all your OSU fans.
I mean, think about how they feel. They're probably like, well,
They're used to it.
We played like crap.
You talking about the players?
Yeah.
They don't even live here. We got to live here. They're going to move somewhere else.
No, I mean like right now they just lost to Kansas. I'm sure that's not.
Yeah.
Sure, that's not.
I'm sure they're torn up.
You know, imagine Jeff Lebby going like the first. You lost to Kansas in the last year of your Big 12, the last year of our Big 12 conference play.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, buddy. Get this. As I said a few weeks ago, get this guy out of here now.
I mean, I would rather lose going for it, you know, and really like, let's say it, pistols firing, than to be known as the guy that's too scared to pull the trigger. I mean, come on. You got to go for it. You got to go for it. And I hope he goes for it. He went for it against Texas, right? No holds barred.
That's what I'm saying.
No holds barred against Texas.
That's what I'm saying. He's not, like... I'm not going to pretend like he's the most incompetent. Like, he can do it. I don't know what he's doing. Again, inconsistent.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating.
Inconsistent. Now, let's talk about some of the other games.
Okay.
No other team in the top 10 loses except for us this week. How's that feel? Is that a little more salt in there on the wound?
Yeah, a little bit.
Let me add a little more in there on that little cut you got there, a little sting a little harder. The only thing that could have saved the day was USC losing to Cal, and they pull it out 50-49 against lowly Cal. Cal was so confident they went for 2 to try to beat them in regulation. Didn't even want to go to overtime against them. Just said,
but you know
let's
what?
just win it now.
Well, you know what? Respect.
Wish I had let that guy, the offensive coordinator from Cal, instead of Levy. He wanted to win.
Yeah.
He went for it.
Yeah.
UCLA beats Dion. Dion's on a little bit of a slide here. The shine's off the prime, right?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see how he'll face adversity.
28-16 against UCLA. Another team that's in kind of a funk, kind of on the same trajectory as OU. They beat Oregon a few weeks ago. I think it was the same week that we beat Texas.
Oh, I think that was the week after.
Was it the week after? Yeah, you may be right about that. But they've had a couple close calls these last 2 weeks. And Washington barely, I mean, in the whole scheme of things, beat Stanford 42-33. So a little closer than the experts thought. Tennessee defeats Kentucky. No surprise there. Texas thumps BYU with their backup quarterback. So, I guess a good win there with your backup quarterback. Georgia beats Florida 43-20 in a bit of a blowout in the cocktail party. Utah just gets smoked by Oregon. Utah, a team that just defeated USC the week before. So Oregon's
the real deal.
Oregon's looking like the real deal. And then K-State just throttles Houston 41-0. So this week in upcoming games, this is the Big 12 moving week. We've got 3 big games in the Big 12 this week. We've got, I believe, 5 teams with 1 conference loss. Us, Texas, K-State, Iowa State, OSU, and Kansas. That's 6 teams, all of them with either 1 or 2 loss in the Big 12. So, depending on who wins this week,
it's been kind of a chaotic season. So all sorts of drama.
Depending on who wins those games, that'll tell the story in the Big 12 this year, you think. So we've got Bedlam, both one loss in the Big 12. Texas against K-State. I don't know where that game is at. It may be at Texas. I believe it is at Texas, but Texas is without Ewers, I think, unless he comes back this week, which shoulder injury usually takes longer than 1 week to recover from. And then Kansas versus Iowa State. So
we'll see.
I guess we'll know a little bit more about the Big 12 after this week.
All I'll say is I'm surprised we only went down to 10. I thought we'd go down to like 15 or something.
Yeah, we talked about it. I said 10 at first because I knew we'd beaten Texas, and Texas was already in the top 10. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We fell behind Texas, which go figure. Texas stays in front of Alabama, so go figure. But we did lose at Kansas, so I can't really gripe about it. If we win out, we can at least win the Big 12, and we might sneak back in. You know how fickle college football is at the end of the year.
I was just about to say that. Talk about how. Okay.
Yeah.
He hit his head on the screen. I was just about to say football's an incredibly fickle mistress. Our friend Mike says that. We beat Iowa State. OSU loses to Iowa State, and then they beat Kansas, and we lose to Kansas. So it's.
Yeah, things can happen.
Fortune favors the ball. It's a game based on fortune, my friend.
Ohio State and Michigan are going to play.
Yeah, that's going to be a game.
Georgia's probably going to run into Alabama down the road somewhere. Florida State, they don't look like world beaters, although they're in kind of a crummy little conference. But anything can happen. Now, here's another big game in the Pac-12 this week. USC versus Washington. Lincoln Riley got anything left in him?
I don't know. I heard rumors he might go to the NFL.
No, that's what I've been hearing too. But Washington has not been playing that well the last few weeks. So maybe they step up and they get their act back together and they beat Washington. That'd be good for OU. Georgia's playing against a one-loss Missouri team, and they're up to number 14 in the rankings. Is Missouri the one that can break the streak?
I don't know.
How close are they getting to our 47
I hope
games?
I hope so, because that would just be a big suck if Georgia beat our record. That would just... you say it's not going to happen, so... Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I'm going to have to take a look at that. Let's see what their streak actually is. Ooh. The record for longest win streak is 28 games. And the Bulldogs have won 23 straight games. That was a week ago, so maybe 24 straight games.
Yeah, I had a friend who said that they would have to keep winning next year and the year after, and which, I doubt that's going to happen.
They're not breaking our record. They're not breaking our record. That's not happening. Maybe Clemson will help us out this week. Or maybe Missouri will help us out this week. Notre Dame versus Clemson. Is that a big game?
Well, it would be if Clemson was the team that they used to be.
Yeah, I don't know if Clemson's...
Venables pulled out.
Yeah, I don't know if Clemson's who they used to be. Dabo Swinney doesn't believe in the transfer portal. That puts you at a disadvantage in today's college football. And then Dion up against the Beavers of Oregon State.
Didn't they lose?
Did they lose last week? I think they did lose last week. Yeah, they did lose. I don't remember to who. I think it was Arizona beat them.
Wow.
Arizona beat them last week. So that should be a good game. But the shine is off the prime. He's going to have to get him a new necklace or something because Dion's losing his shine. We'll see if he can regain that this week. So, should be a great Saturday of college football. It's been a little cold this week in Oklahoma.
It was really dreary all weekend, which was rather appropriate considering this game was just a big suck.
It's great football watching weather. I know that. Indoors.
Yeah. Yeah, also the OU fans were freaking out on Twitter going, "Oh God, the season's ruined." Which, I'm like, guys, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the OU fandom. I love them. They're my fellow fans. At the same time, they throw tantrums when we lose a game. Like, it was just a game, guys. Now, I know we haven't been playing as great as we can be, but this is not a season ender. We still got a couple games to go. So, we're already bowl eligible, which I know you're probably going to look at me like, really?
I'm wanting to punch you in the nose right now. You never lived through the Barry Switzer era.
Yeah, that's true. I did live through the Bob Stoops era, though.
Yeah, nothing like Barry Switzer era.
But, yeah, I'm just like, guys, come on.
We went through some long winning streaks. Even in the Barry era, we had some long win streaks through that era. So, I grew up expecting never to lose.
That's true.
Never, ever to lose. Bowl eligibility was a given. We're always going to be bowl eligible.
Well, yeah.
So.
Must have been tough during the Gibbs and
oh, it was terrible.
And Blake eras. That other guy, Schellenberger.
Anyway. He lasted one season. I think he only lost 4 games. He was gone.
Yeah, no, it's I guess my thing is this. Look, the season ain't over just because we lost a game. And yeah, I know we lost to Kansas, and Kansas is it's been our little brother for years that we've been bullying. But come on, guys, don't lose heart so easily.
We had a 28-game win streak the first 2 years Barry was here.
There you go.
2.5 years. And it was the game I was telling you about. No, it was not that game, but we lost to Kansas that game also.
They actually mentioned that, and you were like, that's the game I was telling you about last week.
I believe Steve Davis was our quarterback, and he got hurt, and we lost that game. So
yeah, and I was kind of surprised because Troy Aikman's considered one of the best quarterbacks ever. I guess we all start somewhere.
So, yeah, I think that Georgia is not going to break that 57-gamer.
47.
47-gamer. So, Barry Switzer had 28 consecutive wins. And, let's see, Bob Stoops... 17 straight, I believe it says. So, I don't know. Let's get on with the rest of the show. NFL, Cowboys bounce back, throttle the Rams. Game was over in the first half.
I had a classmate who went to that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said it was really cool.
That was there in Dallas?
Yep.
It's a great stadium.
It is a great stadium.
Not a great stadium to watch a game, though, because it's a little far back from the field, but they get the big screens there, so you end up watching TV even when you're there.
Jerry Jones, man. He knows how to throw money around.
It is comforting. Had a couple upsets this week that kind of surprised me. Bengals left for dead, right? Burrows washed up, had the hurt, I think, calf muscle. Bengals defeat the 49ers. You remember 3 weeks ago when I crowned them Super Bowl champions? They've lost 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Is that the Summers curse?
I don't know.
Attached to them?
I don't know.
My boss is a season ticket holder. I haven't let him know that I crowned them champions 3 weeks ago.
Well,
I was asking him what is happening, and he said they ran out of gas. I don't know about that, but. And then the Broncos.
With a past his prime, Sean Payton, and Russell Wilson, somehow spanked the Chiefs. I was shocked.
I heard.
I had a podcast that day, and I came back, and they almost won that game. I'm like, I was shocked.
I heard that Mahomes had the flu.
That might explain some things.
Plus, the Broncos do have Pirine.
Yeah, it's true.
And they
I forgot
Nick,
about that.
And they got Nick Benito. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
And they got Marvin Mims.
Oh, wow, they got a bunch of OU alumni.
Marvin had a nice punt return in that game. So not for a touchdown, but he had a nice punt return. So, yeah, a couple of shockers there. And then the Panthers beat the Texans.
Poor Texans.
Wasn't really thinking about that one either. Thought the Panthers might be the 1 or 0 or 2 win team this year, but they got their first win against the Texans. And then you never see this. The Jaguars beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh and then taunt the fans by stealing their little terrible towels and swing them around as they're leaving the field.
Oh, they're just asking for a fight.
I'm surprised they got out of there alive.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was about to say, they're asking for a fight to break out.
So that was pretty hilarious to see. And so this week in football, here's a big one for you. Cowboys versus Big Game and the Eagles.
Woo!
Can't wait to see
Go
that
Cowboys. One. Though the Eagles are probably going to beat us.
Yeah,
so.
We'll see. Cowboys look good this week. And then the Bills versus the Bengals. I guess Is Burrow back?
Bills have been frustratingly inconsistent all year. So, I mean, I would be not surprised if they lost that game.
And then the wide receiver Chase is back. He caught a touchdown pass and did his obligatory backflip in the end zone. Saw that against the 49ers. That had to irritate the 49er fans. And then we got a kind of a high-scoring affair, which I'd love to see this one. Chiefs versus Dolphins. Mahomes versus Tua.
Yeah.
And then we got, I always got to mention Baker. We got the Bucks versus the Texans. Well, the Texans just lost to Carolina, so I think Baker has an opportunity to get back on the winning side of the ledger this week. So
yeah, well, yeah. So Bedlam. The last one. The last dance, they might say.
I hate burnt orange. I hate the brightest orange in America. I hate orange.
There's only one Oklahoma, Dad.
That's right. That's right. 2:30 game. You gonna have time for it?
Yeah. I don't have a game. I don't have a D&D this week, actually. So
you need to cancel that for about 14, 15 weeks in the middle of from fall to Christmas time. You can get back involved with your buddies.
No, but yeah. I try not to say we will win, but I can see us winning.
Yeah, I can see us winning.
But I also have a feeling OSU will play us tough, so I think it'll be a game.
It's at Stillwater with those goofballs banging those paddles on the side of the pads.
Yeah, it's one of the I've actually been. It's actually a pretty nice stadium. Yeah. It's not too bad.
You wish you were one of those guys going like that with the paddle?
I'm kind of I would I am tempted to go, but I kind of don't want to because when I go to the big games we tend to lose.
Yeah. You're definitely staying home. Definitely staying home for that one.
I'm surprised Grampy's like, you want to come to the game?
I don't know if he has tickets anymore.
Yeah, my granddad is an OSU fan. He would take me.
Yeah. So, last game of Bedlam.
For now, anyway.
We've got to win it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those games where I feel like, and I felt this way before, that there's no way we can win it because we're playing so poorly. We barely beat UCF. UCF gets throttled by West Virginia, so it's not that UCF was any good. It was that we sucked.
At least in that game.
We lose to Kansas. There was some rain, there was some wind, we had some bonehead plays, but we do tend to show up against OSU. So they got the top running back in America. We've got the worst offensive coordinator in America, so it should be a great battle. Should be a great battle.
Should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun.
So. Though I have a feeling we'll show up against Oklahoma State.
I sure hope so.
I think we will. I have a good feeling.
Luckily, we're going to the SEC, and when OSU fans say, "We won the last one," we're going to say, "What? You don't even
You're
matter.
not-
You're in the Big 12. We'll start doing the SEC chant on them. So.
Well, hopefully they can get a Big 12 championship once we're gone.
Did you hear the Kansas fan doing their little SEC chant to us?
Yeah, I was about to. I would have teleported over to Lawrence and start a fist fight. Probably would have gotten pneumonia for the effort, though. There were some guys who were shirtless in that 38-degree weather. I'm like, geez, I hope you don't get pneumonia.
And they shaved their chest hair to say KU.
That one guy with the bar mustache, and when they dropped it, and he was like, "Oh." I remember that line from the Cowboys Steelers Super Bowl. Oh, I bet that's the sickest man in America.
They tear down the goalposts.
Yeah. Well, they beat us, so
carry the goalpost out of the stadium and dump them in the lake. So that's nice.
That was probably warranted. I mean, they did beat us.
Yeah, it was time to get a new goalpost too. Things probably been there about 60 years since the last time they had a good season. So, anyway, good luck to you, little buddies, Kansas.
Hope you guys can win a Big 12 championship
Hope you
while
guys
we're
can
gone.
make it to the Final Four in your basketball. So
I will never talk smack about Kansas again.
Yeah, I will.
I think that's it. Halloween's tomorrow, so happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, fans.
Um,
Hopefully we'll be in a better mood next week. It's Halloween weekend against the orange and black.
Yep.
If I see anybody with orange on in this family, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, if Grampy drops by, he's just gonna throw down.
I'm gonna have my bucket of paint ready for him.
Yeah, no. Go Sooners, go.
Go Sooners. Boomer!
Sooner! Anyway, so this has been yet another episode of Days of Us Suitors. Until next time.
Oh, you.